What we are going to talk about today is about a very beautiful woman. Gal Gadot is our hero for this movie. Diana ruler Lady Gadot is entering the Louvre, in Paris, France. A van from Wayne Endeavours conveys a portfolio from Bruce Wayne, which contains an old photo of Diana close by 4 men during the Second Great War. A note from Bruce says he might want to hear the story behind the image. A long time previously, when she was a kid, Diana, played by Lilia Spell, experienced childhood with the island of Themyscira. The strong Amazons, an all-female hero family, lived there furtively and confined. She watches the fighters preparing on the field under broad Antiope. Diana needs to be a warrior like the other Amazons, however her mom, Sovereign Hippolyta, Connie Nielsen, precludes her girl from preparing. Hippolyta lets Diana know that Zeus made the people with an agreeableness. Notwithstanding, Ars, the Lord of War, defiled them. People were loaded up with doubt and desire. They were continually at war. Different divine beings attempted to stop Ars, however he killed them individually. Zeus likewise battled until, with his last strength, he hit us so hard that he had to withdraw. Afterward, Zeus produced a weapon that can obliterate Ars. With Zeus' perishing breath he made the detached home for the Amazons named Themyscira, with a captivated obstruction to conceal them from the remainder of the world. Diana needs to see the extraordinary weapon, so later, Hippolyta shows Diana the strong blade known as the God Executioner. She makes sense of that it can kill the god Ars, however Hippolyta trusts that there won't ever be a need to use it. Antiope persuades Hippolyta to let her train Diana, needing her to be prepared to confront Ars, since they all know he's actually something else. Hippolyta hesitantly concurs. As the years progressed, Antiope subjects Diana to unforgiving and extraordinary preparation in the field. As she arrives at adulthood, Diana keeps preparing to be basically as furious as different Amazons. During one meeting, Antiope pushes Diana hard with her swordplay, driving Diana to shield herself by avoiding the sword with her gloves. This makes Antiope fly back and hurt herself. Diana shows extraordinary regret for harming Antiope. She leaves in disgrace, however Antiope is not even close to agitate. Diana goes to a precipice. Somewhere far off, a plane goes through the boundary into Themyscira prior to colliding with the sea. Diana jumps into the water and swims toward the plane. A pilot named Steve Trevor, Chris Pine, is sinking as he can't break himself liberated from his seat. Diana hauls him out of the plane and takes him to shore. As she becomes shocked to see a person, interestingly, German officers following Steve make it past the hindrance too. The Amazons show up as they track down Diana with Steve, yet in addition see the Germans. The Amazons prepared their bolts, and the Germans point their rifles. The bolts are sent off and shots are discharged. The Germans come to the shore and fight the Amazons. A few Amazons are shot dead while the Germans get taken out without any problem. Antiope fires 3 bolts on the double to kill 3 fighters. One fighter points his firearm at Diana, and Antiope jumps in to make the effort. Diana hurries to Antiope's side. As she bites the dust, she tells Diana it is her opportunity to employ the God Executioner. Steve is questioned before every one of the Amazons with the tether of truth. He is compelled to admit that he is a government operative with the partnered powers. Steve clears up for the Amazons about the Second Great War and how he has learned of an evil arrangement by Germany's overall Erich Ludendorff, Danny Huston, Chris Pine, and his central scientific expert Dr. Isabel Maru, otherwise known as Dr. Poison, Elena Anaya. They are coming up with a new bioweapon, which Steve claims is not normal for anything he's seen previously, and tells the Amazons they are in more peril than they understand. Steve went about as a covert operative in the German armed force prior to taking Maru's scratch pad and taking off with it as he obliterated the Germans' different planes until they followed him to the island. Diana understands this should be crafted by Ars. Steve is permitted to wash in the Amazon's wellspring to recharge himself. Diana strolls in and coincidentally sees him naked. She asks what that is, and Steve says it is his dad's watch, which he says he follows to tell him what to do in the day. Diana is befuddled by the gadget and its purposes. As yet expecting that Uz is behind the continuous conflict, Diana gets her safeguard, tether, and afterward takes the God Executioner sword from its holding, alongside her fight suit. She goes to tell Steve she will assist him with returning home, assuming he takes her to Ars. The two head for the shore, yet are drawn closer by Hippolyta and different Amazons. Diana is unyielding that she goes out there to stop Ars and end the conflict. Hippolyta mournfully embraces her girl one final time and tells her she has forever been her most prominent love, yet today she is her most prominent distress. She gives Diana Antiope's headdress as a keepsake, yet cautions her that in the event that she leaves she will be unable to get back to Themyscira. As Diana and Steve withdraw, Hippolyta trusts to an Amazon that Diana can't understand what she truly is, or, in all likelihood, Uz will think that she is quicker. Diana and Steve show up in London. The two meet with Steve's secretary, Etta Candy, Lucy Davis. Before they can convey Maru's notepad to Steve's bosses, they track down Diana a fitting outfit to wear so she can mix in for the time. Ludendorff meets with Maru in her lab. She has fostered another kind of gas for the general so he might keep up with his super strength. Maru then, at that point, runs over an equation on her table, which she believes is the cutting edge they've been searching for. Diana and Steve head on over to a gathering held by Sir Patrick Morgan, David Thewlis, who is intending to arrange a peace negotiation with Germany. The men in the room are promptly occupied by Diana's presence. Steve is compelled to take her outside. Afterward, he gives Sir Patrick the journal. Since the composing is in Sumerian, Steve has Diana, who communicates in many dialects, decipher it for different men. They discover that Ludendorff and Maru are wanting to make another sort of hydrogen-based mustard gas that would be undeniably more deadly to the troopers. Diana wears her headband and steps out into the war zone with her reinforcement. The German troopers start to shoot upon her, however she effectively diverts their shots with her gloves. Diana continues to pummel the aggressors while Steve and his group follow. When she takes out the greater part of the fighters on the ground, the men assist Diana with jumping to an expert sharpshooter tower, which she quickly wrecks. The residents celebrate and support Diana. Steve later discovers that Ludendorff will go to an occasion the following day. He has Etta find the region for him, yet Sir Patrick desires Steve not to feel free to make it happen. Steve normally disregards him. He then enlightens Diana concerning the occasion and how she would be not ready for it, so he tells her the best way to move. It is discovered that Ludendorff plans to utilize a plane to drop various gas bombs down on London. Diana hurries to an airbase where the German fighters are preparing for their assault. Diana thrashes a smart officer prior to advancing toward Ludendorff. He passes on, yet Diana sees that the troopers are as yet pushing the gas bombs into the plane. He lets Diana know that she is the genuine weapon produced by Zeus. She is the genuine God Executioner. Utilizing the rope, Ars shows Diana what can occur on the off chance that she goes along with him and assuming they free the universe of humanity. She rejects, and they start to battle. Steve and his group move beyond the Germans. They consider destroying the plane, yet the blast would kill anybody inside 50 miles. As Diana and Uz battle stretches out onto the landing area, Steve runs by Diana, offers something fast, and he gives her his dad's watch. He seizes the aircraft plane and flies it away. As he gets sufficiently high, Steve points his weapon at the bombs. He pauses for a minute to consider what he's doing, yet he understands what he needs to do. He shoots the bombs, forfeiting himself as the plane explodes. Diana sees this and shouts in distress. Ars just purposes this to attempt to influence her much more to go along with him as he wears his protection. Ars brings Maru before Diana and eliminates Maru's cover to uncover her distorted face. Diana drops the tank and allows Maru to move away. Diana lets Ars know that she put stock in affection. Ars fires an impact of energy at Diana, yet she retains it with her gloves and guides it back toward Ars. Everybody commends the finish of the conflict. Diana sees a mass of the fallen legends, including Steve. Back in the present, Diana makes an impression on Bruce Wayne, expressing gratitude toward him for the photo and letting her keep a piece of Steve. Her voiceover then consoles that she will keep committing her life to equity. With that, Diana jumps across the sky to proceed with her work as Wonder Lady.